Well, here we are again at the end of another month. We are already at the end of October 2024. Hard to believe. October's been a rough month for us here in Central Florida with a couple hurricanes coming through. But it also means it is time for our housing market update. Our numbers are available through the end of September 2024. And so let's get into the numbers for Polk County, Florida. Polk County experienced 1,160 closed sales in September 2024. That's compared to 1,254 a year ago, a decrease of 7.5%. Cash sales as a percentage of closed sales, 21.7% of all cash sales, or all sales were cash sales. That's compared to 22.6% a year ago, a decrease of 4%. Median sales price $315,000. That's compared to $324,900, a decrease of 3%. So we did see a slight drop in home prices. Average sales price $325,960 compared to $337,595 a year ago, a decrease of 3.4%. So not much difference between average and median sales price. Median percent of original list price, sellers received 96.3% of original list price compared to 98.3% a year ago. That's a decrease of 2%. How long is it taking a home to go under contract? 47 days. That is compared to 27 days a year ago, an increase of 74.1%. Median time to closing, 96 days compared to 71 days, an increase of 35.2%. New pending sales, 1,187 new pending sales compared to 1,172 a year ago, an increase of 1.3%. New listings, 1,686 compared to 1,706 a year ago, a decrease of 1.2%. First time in several months we've actually seen a decrease in new listings. Pending inventory, 1,617 compared to 1,800 a year ago, and a decrease of 10.2%. Active inventory, 5,956 homes active in Polk County compared to 3,880. That's an increase of 53.5% from a year ago and does a lot to explain why home prices went down some. Month supply of inventory, we have 4.7 month supply of inventory compared to 3.1 month supply of inventory a year ago. That's an increase of 51.6%. Please remember that 6 months of inventory is considered a balanced market. So while we're still in a seller's market, we're very quickly approaching a balanced market. Tune in, we'll talk a little bit more about what all these numbers mean for you moving forward. So as we saw, real estate activity has been kind of slow over the last several months, and it more or less continued last month. We saw home prices drop just a little bit, but not really anything significant. Other than Winter Haven, where we saw the average sales price drop, but then the median actually stayed pretty level. And the median is generally a little bit better measure of the sales price. It's not as impacted by an extreme on either end. I think there's a lot of factors at play. And October is going to be really interesting because of the hurricanes. I know for several weeks we've actually had almost a stop in real estate activity. So I expect October's numbers are going to look pretty bleak overall. But for September, I think what we're seeing is we did see interest rates go down, but then we've started to see them go back up. Again, that's going to impact us even more in October. And so that's kept buyers on the outside looking in. I think a lot of people are waiting on the election. And it's interesting because that happens every election cycle. People wait, figuring they'll make a decision on purchasing based on the outcome of the election. The irony is that historically it hasn't mattered which party wins in the election. After the election, the housing market picks up dramatically. So I would expect that to happen again this year. There's no reason to think that would be any different. Again, regardless of who wins, I know we all have our strong opinions about who we want to see in office, but the reality is, in terms of the day-to-day workings of the housing market, it actually generally has little impact historically. So yeah, I think we'll see that have a pretty significant impact here if interest rates were to drop below 6%. I don't know that that's going to happen quickly, but I do think it's probably going to happen during 2025. So I'd expect the housing market to pick up then. In the meantime, what you can do as a seller is focus on making sure your home is move-in ready. Do all the repairs that you can. Think about offering some of the same incentives that builders are offering. Builders are offering interest rate buy-downs. They're offering closing costs, and that is keeping builders pretty active in this market, and they're actually pretty upbeat about the housing market overall moving forward. I know I actually toured several builders this weekend, 4 different home builders this weekend in the Winter Haven area, and all of them have lots of inventory, but they're also still building like crazy, and expect this to be a good year in 2025 and even at the end here of 2024. As always, if I can provide any information for you as you consider buying or selling a home here in Central Florida, please reach out. I really do consider myself a consultant or advisor more than a salesperson, and my job is not to convince you to buy or sell. My job is to help you make an educated, informed decision. It's in the best interest of you and your family on whether or not it's a good time for you to buy or sell. So please reach out. I'd love to talk with you. And remember, you can't miss with Chris. Have a great day, everybody.